How's it going, everybody? Back with another week's episode of the Faithscape podcast. Um, Today I'm shooting in the comfort of my own home. Usually I'm shooting in my car after the gym, so you won't hear the occasional car or lawnmower going by. So that should be nice. Um, I want to start off by kind of just going over my past week, and then we'll kind of get into what I want to talk about today. So this past week, I'd say it was I'd say this past week has been pretty good. This past weekend, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Awesome movie, highly recommend. Very much of a tearjerker. Had me crying a little bit at some points. My girlfriend was straight up crying, but it's all right. We love showing emotion. But no, I definitely recommend Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm definitely gonna see it again when she gets back from her trip. Oh, I also went to Kohl's. This is a little maybe TMI for some. Got Calvin Klein underwear, 8 packs for guess what, $12. It was on clearance at Kohl's. We like that. Um, what else has happened? I feel like really not much. That's really been going on. Caught up with a friend. Got some lunch. That was nice. Um, Found an underground spot that I don't know if it was really underground spot, but he showed it to me. It was really nice. I liked it. But other than that, not really too much has happened. I'd say this past week, and other than that stuff, which was an awesome time. I really enjoyed it. Getting into the topic of today, which is gratitude. Gratitude Gratitude to me does mean a lot. I'd say I'd say gratitude and just really just being thankful. If I could put it in other words, it's like being thankful for what you have. And really when I how I want to go into this is a way that like when I usually bring it up, it's kind of hard for me in the moments that like where I'm like trying to bring up to people like, hey, you should be grateful for this. Like, you should be thankful that you have this, blah blah blah. Because I've been at points in my life where, you know, been dead broke, slept in a car, you know, scavenging for food, just going over to my grandma's house so we could eat, And then I've also been to the point where it's like high middle class. I've been in just straight middle class. So I mean, I feel like I know all ends. Obviously, it's at the high class life, but one day hopefully. And it it doesn't bother me as much as it did when I was growing up, and I'd go over to like friends' houses, and they have all the things or whatever, and then they're still complaining about what they don't have, which we all get caught in that. I feel like that's not a wrong thing. I feel like it's not a terrible thing. I mean, we all get caught up in what we don't have versus what we do have. I do it all the time. Something I'm still continuously working on. But it's if you can always take those moments in the day where you're looking around, and I feel like I've been doing this a lot more recently, is looking around and going, wow, like I have a lot more than what I need. You know, there could be John Doe up the street who's barely making it, living paycheck to paycheck, and I'd say I'm doing pretty well for myself. Because this thing I constantly hear, and it's constantly all in the podcast I listen to, which is the social media life, which is people present themselves and like they have this perfect life that you're supposed to have it all figured out by a certain age. And um all they'll have, you could say, like people in their late 30s or early 40s, and they all go, that's just like all made up. They said your 20s are like for you to fail. Like that's literally what it is. 20s are for you to fail, figure out, try everything, do whatever you want before you have the kids, the house, um, everything, the car payments, bills up your hoo ha, everything. This is the time to figure out who's who's Dylan, who's whoever you are. This is the time to figure it out. You're not behind. That's something to put out there. You're not behind at all. You're just trying to figure it out day by day. I feel also, going still into the topic of gratitude, is people around you. People around you in your life, I feel like more and more as you get older, they, and when I say this, I want to be particular. The people in your life right now, your family, your close friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, if you can truly look at them and say, this person makes me happy, this person provides a lot of happiness in my life, you should definitely be telling them more than you probably should sometimes. Like, hey, I love you so much. And when you're in the car with your mom, your dad, I feel like not a little. I used to do this a lot, and this is something I regret. So it's just, me giving a little bit more advice. Sit there. Wowza. Nah, you probably didn't want to hear that, but it's alright. Sit there and just tell your mom or dad or whoever, and just let them know how much you appreciate and love them. And watch their light. Watch the light within inside them just glisten, just light up. Their face is just gonna get all smiley. But seriously, it's something, me losing my mother at a young age, that I try to stress to people when I see it in the moment, like, hey, like, let's, you're not promised every moment. Da 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 da. And when you get into an argument with someone, if it's really something that's really not that big of a deal, like not that big of an argument, something that's just so little, just fix it. Fix it right away. Because, excuse me. Because you really, I feel like I heard this thing. I wish I could. It was just something that came over on my TikTok. It was like the biggest, the biggest assumption that the human race has is assuming you will always be coming back home when you leave. So when you leave for work or when you leave for whatever, the biggest assumption is, well, I'll be able to solve it when I get back. I'll tell them I love them when I get back. I can talk to them tomorrow about whatever. You gotta stop assuming that. Which, like I said, this is something I'm also trying to work on. I really don't want to make this a whole depressing episode about, oh my gosh, he lost his mom. We get it. But, like, if your mother or father is still in your life, I feel you need to give them a big old hug, give them a kiss on the cheek for me. Because the father aspect and having that manly figure in your life, I can't comment too much on. But I will say, like, a mother, and I've said this in past podcasts, this is why I feel I think I'm more comfortable around women than I am men, is because of the relationship I had with my mother. Me and her were just so close because for so long it was just me and her, and then my little brother obviously came around, so then it was the three of us. And it hurt a lot. It would hurt like any, you know, if anybody lost their mom, obviously, I think sometimes they just hurt a little bit more because she was the only parent I had, and it took a lot of healing before I'd always get on myself, get in the car and you just throw on the earbuds, you don't even think about it, like when they're trying to talk to you or whatever, and you just have your earbuds in, like, oh, leave me alone, leave me alone. Those are the moments, like, I wish I could go back and be like, just take out my damn earbud. So, from me to you, hug your mom, hug your dad, let them know how much you love them, for staying around, for being safe. Thank them for everything they do. Just let them know. And I think also to go into the next one is let your siblings know how much you love and care about them. Your siblings, I don't know how it is for other people. I feel like me and my siblings have took on a lot of this. I mean, we all obviously have our different traumatic events, stressors in life, but I feel like growing up, like, you know, we definitely, me and my siblings endured all that together, especially me and my brother. So I feel like some sometimes we feel really close. We're like, oh my gosh, let's go do something, and then there's other moments where it's like, I just want to get away right now, which is fine. I love all these little noises. I think I'm in my home. I'm like, oh, there's probably gonna be no background noises at all. But of course, you just hear the message I just got from my girlfriend. That's all right though. Um, but like, get back on track. Show the gratitude towards your family. Show show the love towards your friends, and let them know that I haven't forgotten about you, and I don't forget about the things you do for me. You know, and I want you to know that it doesn't go unnoticed, because the moment you notice it all, literally down to the minute detail, is when they're gone. And let me tell you, it's not a good feeling. And we're always, even when they do pass, and I pray that you know, when that time comes, I know a lot of people don't like to think about it, but sometimes you gotta have these conversations where it's, even when that time comes, you're still gonna have those thoughts. Oh, I wish I did more, blah blah blah. But I feel like when you really know, like, I told them every chance I got to say, hey, I love you and thank you for everything. That's a good feeling to have after. And to go more in topic about my mother real quick, because I feel like it's someone I don't really talk about much in my life, except to the people closest to me. Sometimes not even the people closest to me know about my mother. My mom, and I will always say this, my mom was a very strict woman when it came to her disciplining. Okay? And will I say the way she went about disciplining us, was she always in the right? No. Did it make us, I feel, very respectable young men and women? Yes. I will always say this. Even though I believe, and this is for, obviously no parent is perfect. Um, the way she did discipline us was wrong, but I will always say that she was truly the best mother. She always had my back. Always. She always listened. I should say always, but most of the time she would try to listen. She would always want to wrestle with me. I remember that. Um, she would always give me these little confidence boosters. These she would we would have mother and son days where you know she'd do with me and my little brother one on one. Like it'd be one day it would be just me and her, and then another time it'd just be me, her, and my little brother. And I remember we saw we went to the movies and we saw it was the Grown Ups movie. I want to say it was Grown Ups too. And right before we saw it, we went to Denny's. And I for some reason, my love for Denny's comes from this. I remember I got chocolate chip pancakes. And our waitress, she was, she spilled, I remember something happening. I want to say it was like she spilled a bunch of water all over the place. And my mom couldn't stop laughing. And she thought it was so funny. And I was like, why are you laughing at this poor like woman? Like obviously like she wasn't like doing it like hysterically where like everyone's hearing her and the waitress can hear her, but I was like, you were a waitress, like you know how embarrassing that has to be. She goes, I know that I'm laughing from that place because I'm laughing. I'm like, I know what it's like to be in your place. Like I know how embarrassing that is, and I'm like, I mean, whatever. Um, she moved us around a lot, but there wasn't a second there wasn't a second in that house that I did not feel loved. You know, she always would try to go out for her best capability, however much she could spend for Christmas. And I remember it was my seventh. It'd been I was 12 years old, so whatever that is, 2013. We were living in this apartment in South Lyon, and I, I knew we were dead broke. Like I knew we were broke. Like I knew we didn't have a lot of money. So I was not expecting a lot for Christmas. So when I gave her my Christmas list, it was only like $10, $20 items. And she goes, like, what's something you really want? What's do you want a video game or whatever? And I remember I told her I wanted GTA. I said, don't worry about it. Like I'll save up my money and I'll buy it. I said, like, don't go out. Like it's fine. Just get the things on the list. Um, I woke up that Christmas morning with um this little ass tree in the living room. It was a little tree. It was such an ugly tree. And me and my little brother and my mom surrounded this little tree. And I only saw like I only saw I only saw two gifts for me under there. Which was I don't know. I wasn't hurt. I was like, okay, because once again I knew. So I was happy to be there. We still had, we got the stocking full of candy. I was happy with everything. I was really happy. I was excited. I opened the first gift. I couldn't tell you what it was. I think it was just like a I really don't remember what it was, to be totally honest with you. But I opened that second present, and what you know, it was GTA 5. She she got it for me, and I was so happy. I was beyond happy because I really thought I was not gonna get that. Obviously, I gave her a hug and everything, and she didn't have to do that. So that's the type of woman my mom was. My mom was the type of woman. She found out some girl or anything was being mean to you, or anybody at school was being mean to you. She was right up there at that school, ready. She worked all the time. Worked late nights, early mornings. Um, but she'd always find a way to come to my games. She'd always find a way to be going to come to my school for my presentations. Even though she'd be in her full, I remember she'd be in her full EMS, her EMT work outfit, and people would be like, "Oh well, if anyone goes down, I guess we can depend on you." It was always those little, dad jokes. Um, but she was always there, always. So I say again, hug your mom, hug your dad, tell them how much you appreciate them. Trust me, because it'll mean the world to them. Sorry, I got a little emotional on this one. I got a little tear coming, but I, when people ask me about my mom, I love talking about her. At first, those first few years, it was really hard, but I love talking about her. She truly, and there's so many people in this, in this life today that I wish could have met her. I wish all the time my girlfriend could have met her. You know, I wish some of my boys could have met her. Honestly, I wish she could even stop by my work and just see the shit I keep up. I'm just playing, but meet my work friends, meet my people at work that are awesome, and just see like, you know, I don't know. You're always gonna wish for that 5 minutes, that 5 minute conversation. I would. I say to myself. I think someone asked me one time. They said, um, "Would you trade it all in for a conversation?" I said, I would trade it all in. I would trade every penny I have, every item I have, every relationship I have for just a hug. Literally, just a hug. And now you're telling me a 5 minute conversation? I'd give my leg, I'd give my arm, my leg, or whatever for just a 5 minute conversation with my mom about just updating her on everything. I hope hearing this really does make you want to go say, I love you to your mom or your father or whoever. Yeah. Ah, now, on a brighter note, let's get into a brighter note real quick so I can switch up, and when I turn this off, I don't want to go cry in my bed. Um I want to say this too is for the people that know me, I'd say the people in my life right now, truly, I love every single one of you. I don't think there's one person in my life right now that I'm close with and I talk to that I'm at any type of point with them where I'm like, oh, I like them, but I don't love them. Like, no. I love you, and I would truly be hurt if for some reason you moved to another state or, you know, God forbid, passed away. I would say that would hurt me a lot. And that goes for, family, that goes for, you know, obviously my girlfriend, that goes for friends, that goes for work friends, it goes for everybody. So I just wanted to say that. So if you're listening, I love you. And also another thing would be you when it comes to certain situations, you can only do too much. You can only do so much. I shouldn't say too much. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said that. You can only do so much. And do not feel bad for putting yourself first. People are going to be against you. People are going to say, why are you doing this? And it hurts. I'm hurting right now. Not in a bad way where I'm depressed, but, I'm going through something right now where I'm just like, damn. Damn. That I like that type of feeling. Which it'll pass. I know it will. And like it hurts right now, but always know that if I could leave you with that little piece of advice today, it would be, you know, don't ever feel ashamed for putting yourself first. That would be my piece of advice today. Now, for my little sermon of the day, I want to say God loves you. You are truly an amazing person. Whoever you worship, pray to, whoever, whatever, I hope it brings you peace. I know the man upstairs I pray to and I worship brings me peace. So I hope you all can find that same peace in whatever it is for you. But I just wanted to say that God loves you. You are truly one of one. And you are an amazing person. Again, never feel ashamed for putting yourself first. Your mental health, your stability, everything, that should always be first. So, you guys all have an amazing week. And until next Wednesday, I hope you guys all have an amazing week. Truly. I'm honestly kind of tearing up because I'm starting to think the human race is such a beautiful, like I really could get into it. People are so amazing. And I feel like we just don't give each other enough credit for everything that people may be going through, for getting up every day, going to work, for getting up every day, going to school, getting up every day and just dealing with whatever bullshit you may be going through that day. It's a lot. And to take new steps in life is a lot. Trust. But if anyone can do it, it's you. Like, know that. Know that. In my beliefs, God isn't going to give you more than you can handle. He gives his strongest battles to his strongest warriors. It's what I've always told myself. It's what I've always been told. And it gives me peace. So I hope that little statement right there can give somebody out there some peace. Sorry, had to get that off my chest. I actually truly started to tear up just thinking about that. So I felt right to get off. But, anyways, I love you all and have a blessed week.